Hi guys and welcome. So this is the first episode of my series about entrepreneurship and about specifically ice cream shops. So I run a small business back home and it is an ice cream store. So I'm super excited to kind of dig in over these next few months and look more about entrepreneurship in that business area to kind of study and research and learn a little bit and share some of my insights on entrepreneurship with you guys. So make sure you stay tuned for my next videos and keep up as we discuss those different aspects and those different kind of parts of running a small business and running a shop. So just to introduce myself a little bit more, my name is Natalie Day, and like I said, I'm a small business owner, but I'm also a student. I'm currently working on my degree for entrepreneurship and business management at Brigham Young University, Hawaii. So I have learned a lot over the past few semesters, and I'm excited to learn more as I get my degree. So to kick off this video series, I wanted to give a big overview of sorts of entrepreneurship, kind of what it means, what it entails, and what it means to me personally, the different things I like about it. So a quick Google search from a definition of entrepreneurship, it defines it as the activity of setting up a business or businesses, taking on financial risk in hope of pursuit. So two words really stand out to me there, hope and risk. And I think that these are two really interesting words because they kind of seem like opposites in my mind. You know, one of them has this really positive light, this really brightness, and the other one is kind of like this edge of the word. You know, maybe you're going to lose everything, maybe you're going to get a profit, you're not really sure. But I kind of wanted to look a little deeper into those words, on my thoughts on them, to kind of find a better definition of entrepreneurship. Like I mentioned, hope to me sounds happy. It sounds something that's super good. And I think that that's true, but I think that it can also be kind of hard to attain. It can be something that's hard to hold on to when things get rough or when things go bad or your business isn't doing as well as you hoped. It is hard to keep onto it, and it's hard to, access that or to find those bright moments when you're having a struggling time. And so I think that that word is something that's really important about entrepreneurship. It's something that you kind of have to make a decision for beforehand and say, this is my goal, this is my work that I'm going to put in, and this is what I'm going to do to make it happen. Having that perspective and that open-mindedness is something that can really help you access hope and become an entrepreneur. And okay, so that second word, risk, is something that can be kind of scary at first, but I think that it is such a big key to success. If we're not really willing to put things on the line or really to put our best effort in or to risk some things, then we're not really invested. So like those words can be used in so many different ways, but I encourage you to kind of think about risk positively. Risk allows for growth, it allows for progression, and it allows for success. So when you have those two things together, when you have risk and you have hope, it is easier to become a true entrepreneur because you really are doing something that's important to you. You're putting things on the line for it, and you have that edge of happiness to it, that hope that you're going to succeed or that hope that you're going to do well. And I think that those two things are really part of the definition of entrepreneurship. Alright guys, so I wanted to share this article with you. It's from thebalance.com and it's entitled, What is an Entrepreneur? And I think that this article is super great because it kind of breaks down the different types of entrepreneurs and the ways that entrepreneurs get started and just kind of everything about that topic. It's kind of a quick rundown. And so I wanted to just share this paragraph with you. It says, an entrepreneur is an individual who organizes the resources to exploit a commercial opportunity through a process known as entrepreneurship. I thought this was really interesting because it really highlights that organizational aspect. An entrepreneur is someone who sits down and can organize resources in order to get to their goal. And I thought that was a really cool way to think about things. They really kind of see that whole big picture. They're able to look at what they have, look at their resources, and put them together almost like a puzzle. They're fitting those different pieces together in a way that benefits them. So I thought that was really interesting from this article. The second thing I wanted to share with you guys is kind of interesting to me, and it's a breakdown of the difference between an entrepreneur and a small business owner. So in my mind, these things were kind of similar, different, but the same, and I really loved this and made it really clear. It kind of broke it down into a little chart of what an entrepreneur does and what a small business owner does and why those two things are different. And so part of what they're saying is like, entrepreneurs can stem from small business owners, and small business owners can kind of stem from entrepreneurs. So one of the things that they mentioned is the kind of the goal in mind. An entrepreneur has a goal of working for themselves and transforming a market, while a small business owner has a goal of working for themselves and adding to the market. So kind of that revolutionary mindset is going to the entrepreneur, and that stabilized mindset is going to the small business owner. And I thought that was really interesting. A small business owner is kind of centered around the community and the needs of the people, while an entrepreneurship is kind of looking for something bigger, something different. They're looking to kind of innovate and change things rather than to just create something that's been done before. And that being said, I do think that small business owners can kind of be unique in their own way. Back home, my business, there's nothing like it around. And I like to think that I'm kind of trying to change things, trying to change mindsets around the community. But I'm also kind of looking for that stability of a day-to-day business schedule. Things are going to work in a certain way at a certain time, while someone with a more entrepreneurial mindset might be wanting to kind of shift their thinking a little bit more and push forward into something bigger, something different. The other thing that I wanted to highlight with this is that an entrepreneur strives towards large financial gains for the future, while a small business owner strives for day-to-day financial freedom. And I think that goes back to that stability. Small business owner is looking for a little bit more of like a stable lifestyle, while the entrepreneur is willing to put more of that risk onto the table. And I thought that was a really good insight from this article, of dividing that kind of thought process so that it's easier for people to kind of sit down and self-reflect of, am I a small business owner? Am I an entrepreneur? What are my goals? What are my priorities? And figure it out from there, because once you know where you're going, it's a lot easier to get there. So all right, so it's time for our quote of the day. So in each episode, I wanted to share with you guys a quote from a book, maybe a movie, maybe a poem, maybe something I've heard before, to just share with you guys and give you a little bit of inspiration or insight into something new. So this quote is from The Alchemist, and if you haven't read this book, I highly encourage you to do so. It's one of my absolute favorites, and I just love the way it portrays life in a sense of getting us out there to kind of find what our passion is, find what our purpose is, and really discover more about ourselves and allow us to kind of access our full potential. So if you haven't read the book, I really encourage you to read it. It's amazing, and it has so many great insights and wisdom in it that just really help us to become better people and happier people as well. So this quote says, "It's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting." And I think that this is such a good quote for entrepreneurship, because it is really based on a dream, that hope again of what we want to happen. And we're constantly fighting for it. We're constantly working towards that goal, working towards improvement, and trying to discover something new. And I think that that is such a good quote, because it makes life important and it makes life good. If we're not working for anything, then how are we going to live life? We can't just work from day to day on something that's not important to us. And so there's the quote of the day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. All right, everybody, so that is it for today. To conclude, I kind of just wanted to recap some of my overall thoughts about entrepreneurship. An entrepreneur is somebody who learns how to balance risk and hope. They're somebody who is organized and is able to look at the resources that they have and put those together in order to make a business, in order to start something new, and in order to chase a dream. And lastly, I think that it is okay to kind of sit down and reflect on what you want to be, what you want to do, and where you want your direction to go. Put your priorities in order, put your perspective in line, and really get ready to face those challenges that you are going to face. So I just wanted to end by encouraging you all that you can do it. You can ask for help, you can push through those hard times, and you can enjoy those good ones. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you come by next time for my next video, and it will be in a week.